today we're going to keep coloring in our design and using our shapes. We need to think about the shapes which are in the foreground and then your background. So you should have decided to have cool in your foreground or cool in your background and vice versa. This way these images pop because you're looking at the contrast between warm colors like the sun and cool colors like the ocean and the earth. So as you can see with this one here, I've decided to do warm colors for my shapes, and then my background is going to be, of course, cool colors. So part of this lesson is just to really have fun with your color mixing. And you're going to be given a palette paper, which is for your use to mix all these beautiful shades of color. Okay, we're going to think about tints by adding white to different colors. We're going to mix colors with colors to make different hues and your own unique color palette. What you need to do is first think about keeping all of your main colors clean. We're not mixing in the tray, you're mixing on your color palette paper. So if I want to start, I'm going to have a clean brush and get the water off your brush, okay? So you can take some white and make a clean pile of white. I would suggest making a couple piles of white because you're going to definitely want to add some different tints, and while your brush is clean you can do that. So next thing I want to do is rinse my brush well, dry it off, make sure all the paint, if you see paint here like the white, you didn't rinse well enough, or if you see blue, whatever color you're using, you need to make sure this is clean. Then I can start picking a color to paint in my background, and as you see I've already used warm colors, so I have to use cool colors. So I'm gonna just take some blue and I'm gonna add it to one of my piles, and mixing small little pile, okay? You're not trying to paint your paper, you want to conserve your paint. You don't want to paint up your paper, then you don't have any paint left, right? So I can look here on my artwork and pick a open square or shape that needs painted. Remember, you put the white line, so I'm going to just go ahead and paint in one of these shapes. Again, if I didn't paint my paper, I should have enough paint to easily paint this in. You need a little bit of water to make it go a little longer. That's fine if you start running out of paint. But it's not going to take much paint to paint in each of these areas. Okay, so that's pretty fun. Now I've mixed this color, which is fun, but now I can change it to give me another shade of color, and maybe I want to add a little bit of this green. Again, I cleaned my brush so I know I'm not getting any blue in that green. And I can see what I think. Do I like it? Do I not like it? If I don't like it, I can always change it a little bit. Maybe I want to add some white to it. And I like that a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a new little spot to paint in. Again. So I'm still keeping with my warm colors. Maybe this time I want to try, again, I cleaned my brush so I know this purple is perfectly clean. And again, I can pick a new little spot. and get this painted in quickly. Now again, since I have this color already started, I think it'd be fun to add something to it to see what happens. Again, I want to make sure there's no paint on my brush because I'm going into my clean paints. I'm going to add a little blue, and I just got a new fun purple. So I can pick a new block to paint in this purple. So I think you get the idea that every color block needs to be different. You can't use the same color twice, and you'll create a really cool effect. Okay. If your neighbor mixed a ton of paint, you can steal their paint, or ask them first. If they're not using that and you don't have that unique color, you could say, can I use some of that awesome color that you just made? Because we have lots of little squares to fill up here. And so on and so on. But just have fun with the color mixing process. That's what this project's about. Learning your tints by adding a bit of white and so on. The last thing I'll mention is if I want you mixing your own colors, your own unique colors. If you take paint from here and put it right onto here, I'm going to know that you didn't mix your own color because it's going to look like exactly what I have in the tray. So again, I want you mixing your own colors. So have fun.